One of the most confusing experiences of my life was the first time that I was laying in bed with a beautiful woman and I couldn't get hard. This is an experience that a lot of my clients have run into, and clearly you have too. So the first thing I want you to understand is that attraction is not the main driver of erections. And I know this is really counterintuitive to everything you've probably ever thought about sex, but it's the truth. And the reason that I know this is because I had a severe case of erectile dysfunction for 7 years. So my name's Cam Joyner, and I'm the founder of NoPillsNoSurgery.com. And I started this business to help guys like you because everything I learned about sex was wrong, and it caused a lot of problems with intimacy and relationships and erections and really my relationship with myself. I didn't feel like a man, and I avoided the intimacy that I wanted so badly because I thought all the wrong things about sex, and it drove me into a really dark place, and I don't want that for you. So to understand why you can lose an erection when you're next to somebody that you're very attracted to who wants to have sex with you, we have to look at the number one predictor about whether or not you will get hard and stay hard. And it's not how attractive the person is. A lot of guys have gone home and had great sex with somebody that they weren't that attracted to, they just happened to be available. And when I tell you what it is, your first reaction is probably gonna be like, nope, that's not it. But before I tell you this, I wanna just preface it with, during the 7 years that I had erectile dysfunction, I went down all the erection rabbit holes, okay? Physical problems like venous leak, precursors to erections like nitric oxide and blood flow, testosterone, free-floating testosterone. Then I went down all the psychological factors like therapy and hypnosis. None of that did anything for me, okay? So when I tell you this, even if your reaction is like, I don't think that's it, just take a moment to ask yourself if it's possible, okay? Are you ready? So here it is. It's your emotional state, okay? Your emotional state is the number one predictor about whether or not you will get and stay hard. And this is really counterintuitive because of the way that you've been taught to think about yourself sexually by our culture. So if you watch movies or TV shows, they joke around that men think about sex every 2.3 seconds. And the idea that has been planted into our heads is that we should be walking erections. The moment we see a beautiful woman, we should be able to get hard instantly, bing! And we should be able to keep that erection no matter what the circumstances are, even if the building's on fire, even if our grandma's watching, we should be able to keep a rock solid erection. And if we lose our erection for any reason, we're not a man. And this just isn't, the problem with this is that it's a half-truth. You probably do think about sex a lot, or you probably did before you had erection problems. But the problem is that men have never been taught that their emotional state plays a part in sex. And it plays a huge part in sex. One of the reasons that guys struggle with one-night stands is because there's no emotional connection. Because when they're with the person that they've gone home with, they don't feel safe with them because they just got to know them. And so if you think back to an experience that you had that was really hot, I want you to think about your emotional state 5 to 10 minutes leading up to sex. You probably felt really excited. You were probably really turned on. The dominant feeling was probably very pleasant. Now think back to an experience where you lost an erection. My guess is that you probably felt nervous, a little anxious. You're probably focused on how hard am I and what's gonna happen if I lose my erection? Is she gonna be embarrassed? Is she gonna lose interest in me? Am I gonna end up alone forever? Those are the kinds of thoughts that tend to go through your mind when you're anxious. There's so much bad information about this problem on the internet, and so I really don't want you to waste a lot of time and effort and money like I did. So get yourself a good education. And the best place for you to start is by learning how to stay hard by watching this video.